Hello everyone. Today I will show you the top 10 SUVs in the world. Number 10. Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Put simply, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan is the most luxurious SUV money can buy. This is reflected in the prices, which start from more than £250,000, making it head and shoulders the most expensive car in this list. For the money buyers, get trademark contemporary Rolls-Royce opulence in a huge high-riding package. Not only is it the most lavishly appointed SUV you can buy in Britain, it's the biggest too, sizing up noticeably larger than even the Mercedes GLS. Under the bonnet sits a 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, producing 563 bhp and 950 Nm torque. It lives an unstressed life and contributes to the immensely refined and serene environment the Cullinan is on the move. The firm's first SUV is aimed more towards people who will climb behind the wheel, rather than the chauffeur market. To that end, it's good to drive too, while Rolls has worked hard to ensure that the Cullinan is not just a leviathan for the road. It's immensely capable off-road to throw in trademark Rolls personalization, and it's clear that the Cullinan is an SUV worthy of its prestigious badge. Number 9. BMW X. The BMW X is a battery-electric mid-size luxury crossover SUV manufactured and marketed by the German automobile manufacturer BMW. It was unveiled in concept form named Vision Next at the 2018 Paris Motor Show, and then is fully production-ready in November 2020. The X is the first purpose-built electric vehicle by BMW since the i3 from 2013, and the fourth BMW X sub-brand model. The X nameplate was chosen to signify the model's position at the top of the electric i lineup and its role in showcasing technology. The BMW X is not the brand's first electric SUV, but it is the first to be built on a dedicated EV platform. While its looks may be divisive, there is no doubting the X's appeal in the newly growing electric sector of the luxury SUV market. Three versions are available: the XDR IVE 40, XDR IVE 50, and the sportier M60, offering up to 257, 380 and 357 miles of battery range respectively. While all models should prove easy to live with every day with such solid ranges, they also offer an incredibly refined drive, plenty of head and legroom, and a high level of overall quality. Make no mistake, the X is a heavy car with a curb weight of 2,440 kilograms, so if you are looking for the usual BMW sportiness and agility, you may be disappointed. However, if you are after a luxury cruiser that reaps the savings and benefits of going electric, the X should be high on your list. Number 8. Lamborghini Urus. The Lamborghini Urus is a high-performance luxury SUV manufactured by Italian automobile manufacturer Lamborghini. It was unveiled on 4 December 2017 and was put on the market for the 2018 model year. The name comes from the urus, the ancestor of modern domestic cattle, also known as the oryches. The Lamborghini Urus concept was unveiled at the 2012 Beijing Auto Show on 23 April 2012. Later, the SUV was also shown at Pebble Beach in 2012. Powered by a 5.2 liters V10 engine shared with the Gallardo, the engine generated a theoretical maximum power output of 600 PS, 592 horsepower, 441 kilowatts, and was accompanied with an all-wheel drive system. The Urus was reported to have the lowest carbon emissions as compared to its stablemates, i.e. the Porsche Cayenne, Bentley Bentega and the Audi Q7. The Urus was conceived as a perfect daily driver, unlike the other offerings from the brand. The sharp-lined exterior design of the SUV takes heavy influence from the company's V12 flagship, the Aventador. The production version of the SUV was introduced in 2017, with major changes done to the exterior and featuring a different powertrain than that of the concept. The Urus isn't the first Lamborghini SUV, but it's the most important car the brand has launched in years, designed to inject the sort of cash flow into the company that Porsche has seen since introducing the Cayenne. With Lamborghini part of the VW group, the Urus is based on the same platform as its Porsche-developed sibling. It uses an engine found in the Cayenne and Bentley Bentega to a turbocharged 4.0-liter V8, developing a whopping 641 bhp. It means that the Urus is one of the fastest SUVs in the world, capable of reeling off the sprint to 62 miles per hour from standstill in just 3.6 seconds, while top speed comes in at 190 miles per hour, and this supercar worrying performance comes with a bit of off-road ability too. Space is limited to room for 5, with a sporty rear end clipping away a bit of headroom. But this really is an SUV aimed more at the drag strip than green lanes and family outings in comfort and convenience. Number 7. Mercedes GLS. The The Mercedes-Benz GLS Class, formerly Mercedes-Benz GL Class, is a full-size crossover luxury SUV produced by Mercedes-Benz since 2006. In each of its generations, it is a 3-row 7-passenger vehicle positioned above the GLE Class, formerly Mercedes-Benz M Class, before 2016. The GLS Class is considered the flagship of the Marcus SUV lineup, although the body-on-frame G Class, originally intended for military off-roading, but also offered in luxurious trims, is more expensive and has been in production longer. The GLS shares the same unibody architecture with the GLE Class. Most GLS Class vehicles are assembled at the Mercedes plant in Alabama, except for a small number of early 2007 production vehicles which were manufactured in Germany. The first-generation Model X164 was manufactured between 2006 and 2012 and was replaced in 2012 by the new generation GL Class X166. From 2016, with the release of the facelifted second-generation model, the GL Class was renamed to GLS Class, as per the revised nomenclature adopted by Mercedes. Under this scheme, SUVs use the base name GL followed by the model's placement in Mercedes-Benz hierarchy. The G is for Geländewagen, German for off-road vehicle, and eludes the long-running G Class. This is followed by the letter L that acts as a linkage with the letter S, the SUV equivalent to the S Class, marketing the GLS Class as the corresponding SUV to the S Class full-size sedan. If size matters, the Mercedes GLS is the place to look. Exclude the 250,000-pound plus Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and you're re-looking at one of the largest SUVs on the market. The new flagship Mercedes SUV is simply enormous. 7 adults can travel in it comfortably, and they will do, thanks not just to the sheer amount of space on offer in the cabin, but also to standard air suspension across the lineup. Mercedes has aimed to make the new GLS the S-Class of SUVs, and while it's not the poster boy of the luxury SUV market like the S-Class is in the limousine segment, there is a clear likeness based simply on how refined the GLS is on the move. Few SUVs are better suited to long-distance cruising. While the GLS is also adept off-road too when fitted with an optional off-road package. Number 6. Audi Q7. The Audi Q7 is a mid-size luxury crossover SUV made by the German manufacturer Audi, unveiled in September 2005 at the Frankfurt Motor Show. Production of this 7-seater SUV began in the autumn of 2005 at the Volkswagen Bratislava plant in Bratislava, Slovakia. It was the first SUV offering from Audi and went on sale in 2006. Later, Audi's second SUV, the Q5, was unveiled as a 2009 model. Audi has since unveiled a third SUV model, the Q3, which went on sale in the third quarter of 2011, and a fourth SUV model, the Q2, which went on sale in November 2016. The Q7 shares a Volkswagen Group MLB platform and chassis with the Bentley Bentega, Lamborghini Urus, Porsche Cayenne and the Volkswagen Touareg. The Audi Q7 has been a hit in Britain since launching in 2007, and the current version retains plenty of what has made this car such a success story for the Audi brand. It's priced similarly to the Volvo XC90, but while the Volvo majors on comfort, the Audi is pitched as being a sportier affair, and that tells not just in the way it looks inside and out, but also in the way it's strong on tech, and for infotainment lovers the Audi is a top choice. Touchscreen everything isn't for all, but there is little denying that the Q7's dual screen setup with haptic feedback, combined with the ever-impressive virtual cockpit display, is one of the sharpest looking and slickest infotainment setups out there. Number 5. Volvo XC90. The Volvo XC90 is a mid-size luxury SUV manufactured and marketed by Volvo Cars since 2002 and now in its second generation. The first generation was introduced at the 2002 North American International Auto Show and used a Volvo P2 platform shared with the first-generation Volvo S80 and other large Volvo cars. It was manufactured at Volvo's Torslanda. Volvo moved production equipment of the first generation to China and ended Swedish production at the end of 2014, renaming the car as the Volvo XC Classic or Volvo XC90 Classic. At the end of 2014, the second-generation XC90 was introduced. It is based on a new global platform, the Scalable Product Architecture SPA. Both generations of the XC90 have won Motor Trend's SUV of the Year award in their debuts. In January 2001, Volvo debuted its adventure concept car at the North American International Auto Show to gauge reaction to the styling and features of its upcoming SUV. In November 2001, Volvo released a teaser image showing the frontal styling of the production version named the XC90. Notable is Volvo's first SUV model. The styling of the XC90 recalled the concept. In January 2002, the full XC90 unveiling occurred at the North American International Auto Show. Production began in August 2002 after Volvo's traditional mid-year shutdown, with the first XC90s coming out of the Torslanda factory in Sweden. It's been around for a few years now, but the Volvo XC90 still stands out as a brilliant luxury SUV, and it's a relatively affordable one too compared with rivals. That's because the XC90 starts from around £59,000, with a range-topping 385 bhp plug-in hybrid T8 twin-engine Inscription Pro model, still priced from less than the basic cost of a BMW X7. The entire XC90 lineup uses 4-cylinder engines, so buyers looking for a bit of presence under the bonnet will have to look elsewhere. It's far from the sharpest SUV to drive, but it is one of the most comfortable and will be more affordable to run than most of its rivals. It's still one of the most modern-feeling options too, with a cool Scandinavian influence to the cabin design. Number 4. BMW X7. The BMW X7 is a full-sized luxury crossover sport utility vehicle manufactured by BMW. It is BMW's largest and most expensive SUV in its lineup. The X7 was first announced by BMW in March 2014. It was officially unveiled on October 17, 2018, with pre-orders being taken online. The X7 has been available at dealers since March 2019. BMW provided a preview of the upcoming X7 with a showing of the concept X7 iPerformance at the 2017 International Motor Show in Frankfurt. Production of the X7 started in 2018 at the BMW US Manufacturing Company plant in Greer, South Carolina. The X7 is built on the same BMW car platform as the G05 X5, however the X7 is taller and wider, plus it has been stretched for increased cargo space and third-row seating, which is standard, and more spacious for adults. The X5's third-row seating, which is optional, is mainly for children. In contrast to the X5, it is not available with rear-wheel drive, instead using an all-wheel drivetrain for all models. In Europe, diesel and petrol engines are available, while the choice is limited to inline 6 and V8 petrol engines in the United States. Though BMW's SUV lineup is now one of the biggest in the business, the X7 allowed the brand to enter a new territory. This was the Bavarian brand's first Range Rover-sized SUV, and it's an affordable entry into this list, all things considered, with prices starting at just around £80,000 for the 335 bhp 6-cylinder X7's Drive 40i model. It skimps on quality a little to achieve this, with the X7's cabin feeling more closely related to those in its smaller and saloon-bodied siblings. It won't venture as far off-road as the Range Rover either. But on-road it's good to drive for a car of its size, and crucially it's a 7-seater as a result. It's good to think of the X7 as being an alternative for prospective Porsche Cayenne buyers who need space for more than 5. Number 3. Bentley Bentega. The Bentley Bentega is a mid-size luxury crossover SUV marketed by Bentley since late 2015. It is the first and the only SUV ever produced by the brand. Its body is manufactured at the Volkswagen's Zwickau-Mosel plant in Germany, then painted by Paintbox Editions in Banbury, England, and finally assembled at Bentley's factory in Crewe, United Kingdom. Bentley revealed the name Bentega in January 2015. The name comes from Roque Bentega, an emblematic highland rock situated in Tagida, Gran Canaria, the subtropical Canary Island. The company also drew inspiration from a portmanteau of Bentley and Taiga, the world's largest transcontinental snow forest, composed of the first 4 letters of Bentley and an altered spelling of Taiga. Bentega also means carried interest in Swahili. An early name for the model was the Falcon. Bentley's first SUV was previewed as the Bentley EXP9F concept car at the 2012 Geneva Motor Show. The concept car was based upon the Volkswagen Group MLB platform, powered by a 6.0 liters W12 engine producing 600 horsepower, 447 kilowatts. The initial design of the EXP9F was redesigned to achieve more traditional SUV proportions and less retro surfacing. The production version was announced in July 2013. The Bentley EXP9F's design proved to be controversial, and it received a mixed response from the automobile press. After some criticism for the design of the EXP9F, Bentley announced that it would change the styling for the production versions. The Bentega has been a huge success for Bentley, and in a very short time frame, has become the Brit brand's best-selling car. In fact, it currently accounts for nearly half of all Bentleys leaving showrooms around the world. Sharing the same basic underpinnings as the Porsche Cayenne, the finished product is very different in the metal. The Bentega features the sort of interior craftsmanship you'd expect in the Flying Spur and Continental GT, and buyers can opt for bespoke personalization through Bentley's Mulliner division, something you can't do with a Range Rover. Power comes from a V8 or W12 engine, or in line with the brand's plans for future electrification, a V6 plug-in hybrid. All three offer plenty of power in various states of tune, but if speed is what you desire, the range-topping Bentega Speed 6.0-liter W12 engine develops 626 bhp and 900 Nm of torque. Number 2. Porsche Cayenne. The Porsche Cayenne is a series of mid-size luxury crossover sport utility vehicles manufactured by the German automaker Porsche since 2002, with North American sales beginning in 2003. It is the first V8 engine vehicle built by Porsche since 1995, when the Porsche 928 was discontinued. It is also Porsche's first off-road variant vehicle since its Super and Junior tractors of the 1950s, and the first Porsche with 4 doors. Since 2008, all engines have featured direct injection technology for buyers after a large luxury SUV with some sporting pedigree. Porsche has the answer with the Cayenne. It has quickly established itself as one of the brand's most popular models across 3 generations, and the current model is the best yet. It's difficult to really call a car as large and as heavy as the Cayenne, especially in plug-in hybrid guise sporty, but in a class of cars with no real dynamism, the Porsche is the closest thing you'll get to a large luxury SUV that's fun to hustle at speed, Lamborghini Urus excluded. The range-topping Cayenne Turbo SE Hybrid packs 671 bhp and is capable of 0-62 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds. That's true supercar baiting territory, but even the entry-level 335 bhp Cayenne still manages the benchmark sprint in 6.2 seconds and a top speed of 152 miles per hour. What's more, the Cayenne is a lesson in luxury inside, tastefully applying some 911-inspired touches in a spacious, well-made environment. Number 1. Range Rover. Range Rover. Nothing quite captures what a top-end SUV should be quite like the Range Rover. It's the original posh off-roader and still one of the most desirable luxury cars out there with an air of obtainability. The new model will go on sale later this year, but despite being older than many other cars on this list, the outgoing Range Rover is still a hugely convincing proposition. Few off-roaders are more capable when the going gets tough while on road. The Range Rover's refinement and ride leave little to be desired thanks to extensive insulation and standard air suspension. Perhaps what matters most to buyers in this market is the amount of choice afforded. The Range Rover lineup is expansive with several models to choose from. Although the base Vogue model is luxuriously appointed, even including a digital TV receiver, several loftier equipment lines are offered, plus is a sporty autobiography dynamic version. Engines range from a 3.0-liter 6-cylinder diesel with 296 bhp to a 557 bhp supercharged 5.0-liter V8, while in between you will find a 345 bhp diesel, a 394 bhp 6-cylinder petrol, another supercharged V8 model with 518 bhp, and even a plug-in hybrid version.